This is Rummy's Corner. During the long, rich history of film and television, when it comes to fictional boxing-related content, the Rocky franchise undoubtedly represents the gold standard, and not without damn good reason. The Rocky movies produced an engaging saga that followed the life and boxing career of the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. The stories were dramatic and entertaining, the characters were interesting, likable, and believable, and the strong direction and impeccable cast produced stellar classic performances that made the movies both magical and memorable. One of the most important key players who helped make the Rocky franchise such a magical and memorable viewing experience was the late great Carl Weathers, for his portrayal of one of the coolest and most iconic characters within the Rocky universe, the Dancing Destroyer, the King of Sting, the Count of Monte Fisto, the Master of Disaster, the one and only Apollo Creed. At the beginning of the original Rocky, Apollo Creed was the undisputed world heavyweight champion, and he was a dominant champion who was undefeated in 46 professional bouts. In addition to being a powerhouse force inside the squared circle, Creed was also a popular and charismatic showman. We learn a lot of important details about Creed during his initial conflict in the original film. Creed was scheduled to have a bicentennial championship showdown against Mac Lee Green, but he suffered a hand injury 5 weeks out from the fight, putting the entire event in jeopardy. Creed demands a ranked contender as a replacement, exhibiting his pride and his championship heart. And these are two key traits that will forever define his character throughout his entire story in the Rocky universe. Apollo cares a lot about his image. He has a great deal of pride, and when he learns of the difficulty in finding a ranked contender on short notice, it reveals that he is extremely confident in his ability, but more importantly, his intelligence and innovation emerge on full display. Apollo understands that the only way to save the show is to find a novelty, an unknown local challenger getting the chance of a lifetime in the land of opportunity. Of course, Apollo ultimately found exactly what he was looking for: the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. Creed represented a perfect counterpart to Balboa. Rocky was an underachiever who lacked self-belief, a man who never fulfilled his potential, be it professionally or with his personal life. Rocky respects Creed for taking his shot and earning the respect and adoration that came with his success, a shot that Rocky himself never took, in large part because he didn't believe in himself. By contrast, Creed was the personification of exceeding one's potential, driven by his pride and unwavering will. Tony didn't want Apollo messing with no southpaw, but Creed does not feel threatened by the unknown club fighter. A perfect storm scenario unfolded, where for the first time in his life, Rocky had found a purpose and began believing in himself. He found Adrian. All of a sudden, Rocky's hibernating heart thawed into play, not just in terms of his romantic courtship, but also in terms of taking pride in himself, not just wanting to be another bum from the neighborhood. Rocky tapped into that reservoir of unfulfilled potential where he became driven like never before, training with intensity and raw determination. Duke saw his hunger and drive and realized they did not have some hopeless pushover before them. Meanwhile, Creed lost focus, spending so much time on publicity for the showcase promotion that, unlike Duke, he didn't even perceive the possibility that he might actually have a real fight before him. Creed had become civilized, and because of that, he had lost that eye of the tiger.
Gotta come look at this boy you're gonna fight on TV. Looks like he means business.
Yeah, I mean business too. Hey, Shirley, we got any more coffee out there?
Creed's sense of patriotism came into play during his ring entrance, where the dressed-up champion was throwing money at the cheering crowd And he even had some friendly banter with legendary boxer Smokin' Joe Frazier. The crowd loved it. Everyone expected the fight would be a complete and total mismatch, especially Apollo. When the action got underway, Creed mistakenly believed he was toying with the inferior club fighter as he began to establish the jab. But before long, Balboa landed a clubbing left that sent Creed down. It was the first time Creed had ever been dropped during his professional career. Creed beat the count and suddenly realized he was in a real fight. Creed bounced back well and finished the round strong. The bout quickly evolved into a tactical war, where by and large, Creed was throwing more and landing more, but Rocky appeared to be landing bigger and better when he landed. Creed was looking to control the action behind a snappy jab where he could box at range, and Rocky was looking to close the gap and attack the body whenever he could. There was a lot of back and forth action in this war of attrition, where both boxers exhibited tremendous heart, courage, and determination. Late in the fight, both boxers were visibly tired, and in round 14, the champion bombarded and dropped an exhausted Balboa. The fight appeared to be over, but amazingly, Rocky beat the count. Rocky was emboldened by the knockdown, and he finished the round strong. Balboa continued his momentum into the 15th and final round, where he had Creed badly hurt, reeling and ready to go before time expired. At the end of 15 rounds, Creed was awarded a controversial split decision. Rocky lost the fight, but he succeeded in his goal of being the first to last the full 15-round championship distance against Creed. Immediately after the bout, Creed informed Balboa there would be no rematch, but it didn't take long before he changed his mind. Indeed, as the two were being admitted to the hospital, Creed got all fired up. His competitive spirit re-emerged, then and there in front of a slew of media, and he was ready to jump out of his wheelchair and go after Balboa in his wheelchair. It was absolutely bonkers. Creed proceeds to challenge Balboa to a rematch anywhere, anytime. They later shared this pivotal moment where Apollo admitted to a curious Balboa that he did indeed give him his best. Even though Creed retained his championship, and even though Balboa had retired and settled into a new married life, Apollo could not accept the fact that he had a perceived blemish on his record. And adding insult to injury, it was against a lowly club fighter no less. Creed wanted to prove himself after failing for the first time in his professional career. At least in his mind, he needed to prove himself. Even his own wife and kids were taking a back seat to his need for redemption. Creed may have won the fight, but he did not win the event, and he did not live up to his own expectations of himself. Creed was so hell-bent on getting the rematch that he was prepared to abandon all of his goodwill with the fans who loved and adored him. Apollo was prepared to be the bad guy and do whatever it took to get that rematch. Creed wanted to prove to everyone that their first fight was a fluke, and more importantly, he wanted to prove it to himself. Creed may have lacked the eye of the tiger going into their first bout, but his eye of the tiger was back with vengeance. Meanwhile, Rocky is having all sorts of financial trouble in his new married life. Rocky wants to fight again, but a pregnant Adrian forbids it. Even Mickey is against the idea of Rocky fighting again. Creed's anti-Balboa campaign ultimately worked, however. Creed's attacks against Rocky's pride eventually pissed off Mickey, and once Mickey was on board, Creed got exactly what he wanted. A chance at redemption, Adrian be damned. Once the stage was set, there was a reversal of roles. Rocky was the one having a poor training camp, distracted by the fact his wife disapproved of his decision to have the rematch. On the other hand, Apollo was highly motivated and completely consumed by his training and preparation, giving it everything he had and making sure he was optimally prepared physically, mentally, and spiritually. Rocky eventually regained his fire after Adrian told him to win after coming out of her coma, and Rocky was determined and back in form. This time the local Philly crowd was even more pro-Rocky than last. because Apollo had set himself up as the bad guy before and during the lead-up promotion. For whatever reason, Mickey was convinced having Rocky fight right-handed was a stroke of genius, something that would confuse Creed, the plan being to eventually switch back to his natural southpaw stance that gave Creed so much trouble the first time around. That was his master plan to make boxing history. Right out of the gate, Creed was schooling Balboa with a dazzling display of quickness, power, and accuracy. Creed was dominating the action, and he dropped Balboa hard after a ruthless barrage. Rocky beat the count, had a nice flurry, and Creed went back to business. Creed resumed kicking Rocky's ass in round 2, and before long, Creed dropped Balboa again. But this time Rocky was emboldened by the knockdown, and he came back with some nice firepower of his own. As the bout progressed, the difference in class became apparent. Creed was simply too skilled, too fast, and too determined. But Rocky's own heart and courage allowed him to absorb a tremendous beating, where every now and then he would go on the attack effectively. But Creed was clearly winning the rounds, despite the fact Rocky was having some good moments along the way. Balboa finally won a round in the 9th, and he began consistently being more competitive, but he never truly capitalized on that momentum. Apollo was still the one doing the better work, but it was evolving into another taxing and grueling encounter. Rocky had absorbed a tremendous amount of punishment, and he was hopelessly behind on the cards entering the 15th and final round. By this point, Mickey is begging Rocky to switch to southpaw, but he refuses. And Tony is begging Apollo to stick and move, and he too refuses. Because in that moment, everything Apollo experienced since their first bout, the need to not just prove it to the world, but to prove it to himself. There was no way that burning flame was going to allow a champion like Creed to coast. Apollo's pride and championship heart would not allow it. Creed had no intention of coasting and every intention of knocking Rocky out. This all circles back to his first real conflict when Creed demanded a ranked opponent, pride and championship heart. Both warriors put everything on the line in the 15th and final round, with the momentum swinging back and forth, and both boxers landing bludgeoning shots in great abundance. It was absolutely bonkers. Things ultimately ended in one of the most dramatic and ridiculous ways you could ever dream up to conclude this high-profile championship rematch, when this happens. The sheer battle of wills to beat the count ultimately swung Balboa's way by a mere second, and for the first time in his career, Apollo Creed had lost. Rocky Balboa was crowned as the new, undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. Apollo was gracious in defeat, exhibiting good sportsmanship. There wasn't going to be no trilogy. Following the fight, Apollo Creed retired from boxing with a professional record of 47-1. Apollo's boxing career may have been over, but his story wasn't. Over the next 3 years, Rocky went on to defend the championship 10 times, leading into his toughest bout since he first won the crown. Rocky's opponent was the power-punching menace known as Clubber Lang. Former champion Apollo Creed was in attendance, like Smokin' Joe Frazier before him. But unlike the friendly banter Creed shared with Frazier, Clubber Lang didn't want no has-been messing in his corner. Creed wanted Rocky to do everyone a favor and drop that chump. Instead, Clubber Lang overwhelmed Balboa with an extraordinary display of power, stopping him in round 2. A visibly disappointed Apollo saw himself in Rocky. Just like Apollo had lost the eye of the tiger going into his first bout with Balboa, Rocky himself had lost his eye of the tiger here. As Mickey duly noted, Rocky had become civilized, and Creed recognized this. Even worse than getting crushed and losing his championship, Rocky's beloved manager Mickey had sadly passed away. Rocky is at an all-time low, and Apollo is the one who offers to help Rocky. Apollo's motivation here is twofold. On one hand, Apollo is a very smart businessman and a master of promotion. so there was a financial incentive for him to offer his help. Beyond that, Apollo related to what his former foe was going through. Apollo himself missed the limelight and admitted such to Rocky, and he had experience with regaining the eye of the tiger. When Creed needed to rediscover the eye of the tiger, he reverted to his purest form, the man who was a champion on the inside, a man who was confident, a man that exuded self-belief, and he regained his motivation after suffering a setback. Rocky, on the other hand, reverted to his prior form, the man who didn't believe in himself, the man he always feared he really was, just another bum in the neighborhood. The dynamic duo would evolve into one of the greatest 80s bromances of the decade, but their partnership got off to a rocky start. Apollo knew a change of scenery, a change in training, and a change of approach were what was needed for Balboa to beat Clubber Lang. But Balboa's heart wasn't in it, because he had lost the confidence that he only briefly experienced when he had the life-changing union with Adrian. Balboa's training was nothing short of awful. Creed was absolutely battering Rocky something fierce during the preparations. And if he wasn't battering him inside the ring, he was schooling him in races. It got to the point where one might wonder why Creed himself didn't decide to challenge Clubber Lang. Because Rocky's training sucked. Eventually, a nice pep talk from Adrian got him to recognize that he was afraid for all the wrong reasons. This got him back on track, believing in himself again. And amazingly, Creed's training produced incredible results. Rocky was originally struggling to do the doggy paddle, but now he had mastered the most difficult butterfly stroke. And now all of a sudden, Balboa finally beat Creed in a race, and their post-race celebration was the apex of their iconic 80s bromance. Creed succeeded in helping Rocky get back that eye of the tiger. And in a gesture of friendship, Apollo insisted Rocky wear his trunks from their first bout. Rocky agreed, and now he owed Creed a favor.
You got me curious.
You got me curious, Rock. And you're gonna owe me a big favor.
What favor?
When it's over.
You got me curious.
You got me curious, Rock. You just make sure you wash him before you bring him back, all right?
Will do.
After this, you owe me a favor.
What favor? You got me curious.
Rocky went on to defy the odds, and he persevered, overcoming 2 early knockdowns before stopping the mighty Clubber Lang in round 3. Creed had succeeded in helping his former foe turned friend, and the favor he wanted was to compete in the trilogy fight that never was, behind closed doors. No newspapers, no TVs, just Creed and Balboa, mano a mano. This was important because it illustrated that despite being a tremendous showman and a clever businessman and a well-respected celebrity with an endearing personality, deep down, being a warrior is what defined him. And it all circles back to that first scene, that first conflict, where Apollo demanded a ranked contender. Pride and championship heart. That was what defined Apollo Creed. Apollo's pride wanted another crack at Balboa for his own peace of mind. When amateur Soviet heavyweight champion Ivan Drago arrived in the United States seeking out a goodwill exhibition against Rocky Balboa, Creed looked mighty perturbed. This reflects back on Apollo's entrance before his first fight with Rocky. While the ring entrance attire may have seemed like nothing more than a marketing gimmick for the bicentennial celebration, Creed's response here suggests that his patriotism was real. Creed was defined by his pride, but he was also a proud American. Creed saw Drago as a clumsy amateur who, despite being younger and bigger, still lacked the skill to match his level. Creed was confident, and his ability to remain competitive with Balboa, both in training and in their secret trilogy match, this emboldened Creed. Creed was looking to fill the void left after leaving the competitive spotlight, and he likewise saw an opportunity for himself to be the one to stop the giant Russian. Creed had been retired for 5 years at this point, but his warrior mentality had never left him.
We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion.
In what would ultimately be his final ring entrance, Apollo put on a grandiose performance with the aid of the one and only James Brown. Apollo is showboating like there is no tomorrow, dancing around to the music and enjoying every second of it. Creed was ecstatic in the moment, reliving his glory days under the big spotlight, and he was doing everything in his power to entertain the crowd with his unique brand of showmanship. Of course, the fight did not go well for Apollo. He was overmatched by his younger, stronger, juiced-up opponent, and he was getting clobbered. In addition to underestimating the powerhouse force before him, Creed's own speed and reflexes and ability had greatly diminished. Rocky wanted to stop the fight, but Creed refused. True to form, Apollo was defined by his pride and his championship heart, and this led to his ultimate demise. The brutal beating he suffered at the hands of Ivan Drago had tragically ended his life. Apollo's influence would be felt beyond his death, but that was the end of what we see of his character. During his on-screen time in the story, Apollo always acted as a perfect counterpart to Balboa, where the two started as competitors, they had a heated rivalry, and they ultimately had a working relationship that culminated with them developing a deep bond of true friendship that was predicated on mutual admiration and respect. Apollo Creed may have arguably been written as a bit of a one-dimensional character on the surface, but Carl Weathers was so brilliant in his portrayal that he made the character genuine and real, with a strong dose of nuance and humanity, and the end result was an iconic movie character for the ages. The boxing scenes may not have always been realistic, but the humanity most certainly was, with all of the flaws that come with the territory. Even when Creed acted as the antagonist in the original movie, and especially the second movie, because Rocky's main battle in the original was really against himself. But even after Creed became more villainous in Rocky 2, the character still exuded a great sense of humanity and realism, where he was relatable. The following friendship that evolved between the two former foes only added to that realism. At the end of the day, not only was Apollo Creed one of the greatest fictional boxers to ever grace the big screen, dare I say, Apollo Creed was one of the most endearing and lovable and iconic characters during the long, rich history of all film and television. And Carl Weathers was the man who made that happen, the man who brought Apollo Creed to life. I was sad to hear Carl Weathers passed away. I have always had a soft spot for Rocky III, because honestly, that was what first got me interested in boxing before I started watching real boxing. So in a very real sense, Carl played a critical part in the initial inspiration that led me down the path that led to Rummy's Corner. Apollo Creed was a big part of my childhood because of Carl, whose performances I still enjoy to this day because they were magical and memorable. And it wasn't just the Rocky movies. He was awesome in Predator, with one of the greatest 80s handshakes there ever was, and he was excellent in Happy Gilmore. And me personally, I always loved Action Jackson, and as a kid I long hoped that one might have a sequel. And that's another movie I may not have watched had I not been like, whoa, look at that, it's the actor who played Apollo. And he was good as Greef Karga in The Mandalorian, but the role I'll always most identify him with was the master of disaster, the one and only Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed will forever remain one of my favorite all-time movie characters. Thanks for all the memories, Carl. May you rest in peace. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.
And in keeping with great events throughout the country's history, Apollo Creed will duplicate the cracking of the Liberty Bell by cracking Mackley Green.
I believe we can find a solution.
Solution, nothing. Now, you better find me another ranked contender, and I mean in the flash jerkins.
Be a doctor, be a lawyer, carry a leather briefcase. Forget about sports as a profession. Sports make you grunt and smell. See, be a thinker, not a stinker.
Without a ranked contender, what this fighter's gonna need is a novelty. A Snow White underdog, and I'm gonna put his face on this poster with me. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm sentimental. This is what I'm looking for. The Italian Stallion.
Rocky Balboa? Never heard of him.
Apollo Creed meets the Italian Stallion. Sounds like a damn monster movie.
Rocky, ain't you Italian?
Yeah, I'm Italian.
Well, now, what does that mean?
That means if he can't fight, I bet he can cook. Hey, Joe.
Now, you've been dumping me long time.
No, Joe. You next, Joe. You next.
Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
Don't want one.
Look, nobody goes the distance with me. Get up out of that chair, Chump, and let's finish this fight right now. Look, Chump, any place, any time.
Did you give me your best?
Yeah. How much did you get to carry that bum for 15 rounds? You're a disgrace to your people.
Why can't you ignore it?
Are you serious? You think I beat him the last time? Do you? You got the decision. Man, I won, but I didn't beat him. I'm ready to have a rematch to prove that this Lucky Club fighter, and that's what he was, Lucky, does not have the skill to last 5 minutes in the ring with a superior athlete like me. Apollo Creed will provide the ultimate gala spectacle on Thanksgiving in front of this man's home crowd. I'm gonna drop him like a bad habit. Does this look like a circus to you, man? Come November, you're mine. Get up! So get me another one, all right?
Come on, you gotta ease up on these sparring partners.
You just get me another man. You're going down.
No way.
Give everybody a present and drop this chump, all right? All right, good luck to you.
Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. Gotta get that look back, Rock. Eye of the tiger, man. Eye of the tiger, come on. Maybe we could win it back together. Eye of the tiger, man. He's hooking! He's hooking! Damn, Rod, come on! It's over. It's all over. What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow!
Hey, boy. After I crucify him, you next.
Just stay out of my face, chump.
Don't turn your back on me, second. We had a brawl before the bell.
I know what I'm doing. I swear I know what I'm doing.
Don't tell me what you think! Go out there and do it, Rock. Eye of the tiger. You understand?
Yeah.
No TV, no newspapers, just you and me.
Nothing. Just you and me. Age before beauty.
Anything you say, Stallion.
I do all the work. Okay.
Nah, Stallion. Maybe you think you're changing. But you can't change what you really are. And you can forget all this money and stuff you got all around you, man, because it don't change a thing. That's where you're wrong. This is not just an exhibition fight that doesn't mean anything. Look, this is us against them. What are you talking about? Come on. We're gonna stop this fight. No matter what.
No matter what.
My God!
Creed is down. Apollo is down, and he could be badly hurt.
I'll never forget you, Apollo. You're the best.
No matter what.
My dream's all messed up for 6 more weeks. The man's in trouble. The man is scared. He's in my country to start with. previous fight show.
The man to beat me haven't been born yet.
Muhammad Ali is one of the best boxers in the history of boxing. His career was full of various events, among which were both rapid rises and deafening falls. He was not as spectacular a knockout as Tyson, but he put a lot of tough guys on the floor of the ring in his career. Because Ali's boxing career consists practically of only victories, there are a lot of knockout victories among them as well. In this video, we collected all of Muhammad's knockouts, from the very first to the most recent. So sit back and watch until the end. At the same time, think about which knockout in Ali's career was the coolest. Unfortunately, we could not find the video of the first knockouts because of their age and the low status of the fights. The first knockout we will show you were in the 6th professional fight of Cassius Clay, his name at the time. By that time, our hero had won all 5 fights, 3 of them by KO. The 6th fight which took place on April 19, 1961, was against Lamar Clark. Cassius took him down already in the 2nd round. The next knockout didn't happen until the 9th fight. His opponent was Alex Mitif of Armenia, and the result was a technical knockout in round 6. The following fights of Clay were all KO.
Can you get his hand and knee?
I guess so.
Not like this, can you?
I imagine, because they're already tied in a knot. Somehow they get in there. We'll see.
This time it was unlucky for the German Willy Bezmanoff, who fought bravely but lost by TKO in the 7th. The referee rushed him, and Clay's opponent was ready to continue the fight. The 11th fight of Cassius Clay, again by TKO. His opponent, Sonny Banks, was a middle-ranked boxer who did not hold out against the would-be champion in the 4 rounds. And yet the referee, it seems to me, was in a hurry. Clay's opponent was ready to continue the duel. It seems that our hero made it his mission to finish his fights in the 4th round. Otherwise, how do you explain 2 more consecutive technical knockouts in this round against Don Warner and George Logan? Unfortunately, I couldn't find the video of those fights. In his 14th fight, Billy Daniels was defeated. The referee stopped the fight quite unexpectedly, and the audience was unhappy. This was Cash's 6th consecutive technical knockout, only this time in the 7th instead of his favorite 4th round. The next fight was with Alejandro Lavarante. Cassius knocked out his opponent in the 5th round, but you can't watch that knockout for the same reasons. Gradually, Cassius became more and more famous, and his opponents became more and more serious. This time around, Clay fought the legendary Archie Moore. However, the boxing legend, who came to this fight only for the money, was almost 49 years old at the time. Naturally, he had little chance against the fast young Clay. Cassius had predicted his victory in the 4th round, and he made sure it had come true. The former champion lost the fight by TKO.
Moore is sent to the canvas again by a barrage of punches. Ripping punches by Cassius Clay, and it's all over. Clay wins by a 4th round knockout.
Clay easily defeated his next opponent, Charlie Powell, knocking him out in the 3rd round in his home ring in Louisville. The following bouts were much more challenging. After his tough fight against Doug Jones, where the judges controversially gave the victory to Cassius, his next fight was no less difficult against Henry Cooper of Great Britain. The fight took place at Wembley and gathered an impressive crowd of 55,000. A few seconds before the bell in the 4th round, Cooper sent Clay into a hard knockdown. Clay's seconds went up for a ruse to get more time to recover. They tore Clay's glove in between rounds. Cooper opened up a severe dissection in the 5th round, and the referee stopped the fight.
It's round 5. And now he's slipping in, and I think this is it. The towel has come in from Cooper's corner, and Tommy Little's looking at it.
The next fight was the toughest of Cash's career, as he was to face world champion Sonny Liston.
Very tricky left lead, left jab. They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
Without difficulty defeating Liston and becoming the new world champion, Cassius Clay joined the Nation of Islam. He took his new name, Muhammad Ali. In his 2nd fight against Sonny Liston, Ali took out the mighty boxer suspiciously, doing it in the 1st round already, which caused controversy and conspiracies. However, for more details about these scandalous fights, see our video on our other channel. So Muhammad Ali became the champion of the world. even doubtfully but successfully defending his belt. His next opponent was Floyd Patterson, a very famous and strong boxer. Patterson then had 43 wins and 4 defeats, 2 of which were by the same Sonny Liston. Before the fight, Ali said that he was not going to knock out his opponent, but to declare Patterson for a long time before the eyes of the audience. And so it happened. Only in the 12th round did the champion begin to box at his full power, land a few accurate strong punches, and the referee stopped the fight, registering the technical knockout.
And that's it. Referee Krause stops the fight. 2 minutes, 18 seconds of round 12. TKO.
The same Henry Cooper who sent Muhammad into a heavy knockdown at Wembley, decided to try to do it again, only this time to finish the fight with a victory. It didn't work out. The 24-year-old Ali sent Cooper to a technical knockout in the 6th round. Although the fight was again stopped due to a cut on Cooper's body, Ali's victory was undeniable this time.
No, it's all over.
Ali had his next fight again in London. He defended his title by defeating Brian London in 3 rounds. Muhammad ended the fight with spectacular punches, pinning London to the ropes.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down.
On September 10, 1966, the fight was held in Frankfurt, Germany. For the 6th defense, of the title against local champion Carl Mildenberger. Muhammad won by TKO in the 12th round.
Courage alone, Mildenberger is. While the nose is bleeding. Straight right. Oh. Teddy Walton is stopping this bout. It's a technical knockout.
2 months later, Ali defended his world title for the 7th time against Cleveland Williams. The 27th victory for Muhammad ended with a technical knockout in the 3rd round.
Backing away, Roy hits him with a left to the face. Williams doesn't quite know what to do. He's been hurt. Badly takes a left and a right in his own corner, right, and the referee stops the fight. It's all over.
Ali had his next fight against Zora Fawley. The champion easily defeated Fawley, who was not among the heavyweight division's elite. In front of the eyes of New Yorkers, Muhammad knocked out the challenger in the 7th round.
We talked about Foley's courage. The champion has plenty himself. There's no question about that. 7, 8. He's not. Out! He gamely tried to get up!
That fight was Ali's last before he was excommunicated from boxing. The next time he stepped into the ring was more than 3 years later. After such a long break, Ali lost his best form, so he was not given the most vigorous opponents at first. One of them was Oscar Bonavina. The fight was a mixed success for both fighters until, in round 15, Ali knocked out the Argentine. Bonavina could get up, but then fought twice more to the canvas, and the referee stopped the fight.
That left floored him. It came from nowhere. First knockdown of the fight, he took the mandatory 8, and now Ali is behaving like the old Ali. If he goes down again, it's over. Ali is the knockout winner at 2 minutes and 3.
Ali received it. First defeat in his career from Joe Frazier. Later, he fought with him 2 more times. We will cover these fights in a separate story on our channel. After losing clean to Frazier, ruining his excellent record of 31 wins without losses, Muhammad wanted to rehabilitate himself. The punching bag was supposed to be Jimmy Ellis, but the beating didn't happen. Ali defeated his opponent only in the final 12 rounds by TKO.
He looks defenseless on the ropes. The referee may be deciding whether he's going to stop the fight. He is stopping the fight.
His subsequent victory by TKO was against a pretty average fighter, Jürgen Blin. The fight took place in Switzerland, but Ali put his opponent on the ring's canvas in the 7th round.
Ali having some difficulty understanding the referee there. He's got to stop this. He's broken him up. He's giving him a mandatory.
Ali kept picking up wins, but not against the strongest opponents and not always convincingly. 2 years later, Muhammad met again with Jerry Quarry, whom he fought right after his 3-year downtime. Quarry lost again, 7th round, technical knockout.
Ali's face there. Ali out to finish it. Yes, it was a last stand, I think. It was Quarry's last gallant effort. Referee must stop it. Yes, it's all over.
His next opponent opponent was much more serious, but not on the list of top fighters. His name was Alvin Lewis. Ali finished his 39th fight by TKO in the 11th round again.
You may call the old Muhammad Ali, sprinkle it away there, really giving them the business. And it looks as though Eskin feels that that's enough.
For the second time, after beating his boyhood idol Floyd Patterson, who, by the way, ended his career after this fight, Muhammad fought Bob Foster, knocking him out in 8 rounds. The next knockout of Ali's career would be a long time away.
Floor with Joe Frazier, of course, Henry Cooper hooked him over in 1963. But he just crumbled there like a pack of cards, Foster.
Ali could not knock out his opponents in 5 fights in a row, among which was Muhammad's second career loss, the offender being Ken Norton. But Ali, in which almost no one believed, gave a crazy fight against the terrible and unbeaten George Foreman. By the 8th round, George lost his last strength, and Ali, right before the signal for the end of the round, made a right-left-right combination that shocked the young champion. He was on the ropes. Then Muhammad made a precise attack that sent Foreman to the floor of the ring. It was a great fight.
Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's the combination.
After the fight with Foreman, Ali was at the peak of fame. The newly minted world champion had his first title defense against Chuck Wepner. Even though Muhammad won, he sent his opponent to technical knockout in only 15 rounds.
He's trying to hang on. He's out on his feet. Ali hooks him. A right hand off the left hook.
His next opponent was Ron Lyle, who was knocked out by TKO in round 11.
Ali signaled to the ref to stop it, and the ref hasn't stopped it. Lyle just stands and takes it.
After his third fight against Joe Frazier, Ali won. His new opponent was Jean-Pierre Koopman, and Ali handled him reasonably quickly, knocking him out in the 5th round.
Yes, I think. Sit down. Oh, combination. 5 in a row. Left and right too fast. Koopman is down.
The last knockout of Muhammad Ali was carried out in his 54th fight. After this fight, the champion slowly gave up, even though he had won 3 more fights with a great effort. The last knockout was quite spectacular. In the 5th round, Richard Dunn fell. So let's enjoy the last knockout of the great boxer.
Knees are jelly. Oh, what a right hand. It's all over. It's all over. Muhammad Ali has beaten Richard Dunn.
At the end of his career, career, Ali had seriously messed up his stats, losing 3 fights out of 4. Still, it doesn't change the fact that Muhammad is one of the greatest heavyweights ever. With 56 wins, 37 of them by KO, he proved it. And now a question. Which of his knockouts did you like the most? We're waiting for your answer in the comments.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Chad.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on something.
Butterfly.
Boy, he stands in the corner. I did that on purpose, man. What? Can I dance? Is the Pope a Catholic?
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder.
too ugly to represent us colored folks. These Africans, they all of us ugly. Sucker, look at you. You out, sucker.
He's catching us, I think. Oh, combination. 5 in a row. Left and right too fast.
contender that is in there.
Well, he may be making a mistake, Don. Looks like he's sort of leading with his chin a little bit. And there he goes down. Another right cross by the champion. And we're back with the action. And Ali winding up. 1, 2, and down he goes again.
It doesn't seem to be any question that he should not continue.
Well, he's out on his feet, Ferdy, and as a doctor, you know it's about time. And look at Ali.
Look at Ali's windmilling style.
That's it. That's it.
But take my word for it, I'm 3 feet away, and he's taking no notice. This must be surely one of the most unique fighters in heavyweight history. His ability to take a good punch. He was on the floor with Joe Frazier. Of course, Henry Cooper hooked him over in 1963. But he just crumbled there like a pack of...
He didn't have the weight to follow through. The guy just caught him with a grazed right hand. I could do a lot of dancing, a lot of footwork, but he wasn't a Joe Frazier, Savallo type fighter where you have to keep moving away from him because he don't charge you too much.
Well, now that was a long right that connected, and it appeared that that extra power...
Banks' right hand. It's the left hand that he's causing the trouble with. There goes Banks down. That's a knockdown, all right. 1 minute to go in round 3. Banks was roughed by that left hook. He's getting roughed a little more. That's all. Ruby Goldstein is stopping the fight. That's all.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down. It doesn't appear as if London's going to be able to make it to his feet. The fight is over.
And again, these right hands that are getting wide. Doesn't Lewis get out of that corner? Yes, he is as well. I hope that he heard me, because it really is ridiculous just to stand there and take them. What a right hand. That was the punch, I think, that Ali... Man, Lewis, you get the feeling as though Lewis is saying, okay, let everything go at me. When you've done it, I'll come back at you. But unfortunately, Ali does not give him enough respite. Really giving them the business. And it looks as though Eskin feels that that's enough. He's not going to allow Muhammad Ali. Watch Ali pick up the pace now. There's a real vicious left hook, the right hand. Ali has the killer instinct in his eye. He wants an knockout. He smells a knockout. He has tried to drop Wetner. There's a good combination. Wetner's ready to
2:41 seconds of the 15th round.
2:41 of the 15th
world
round.
Heavyweight
champion Muhammad Ali.
Dive patched up now. Billy hooks with that left hand. And now he's cut over the left eye. Henry Cooper is cut over the left eye. He's just threatening and he's teasing Cooper. Oh, and now Cooper. It's round 5. And now he's stepping in, and I think this is it. The towel has come in from Cooper's corner, and Tommy is looking at it.
A sudden and dramatic ending as young Cassius Clay makes good his prediction of a 5th round KO. Moore pressing forward, trying to get in that one big punch to take Clay out of there. Ripping punches by Clay, and Moore goes down. Moore is sent to the canvas. Ripping punches by Cassius Clay, and it's all over.
Fighter. Cut out of boys' high school in Brooklyn. Hey, he hurt Lyle. Ali got to Lyle. Lyle is in trouble. He hurt him with a left. Lyle went back against the ropes. 11th round action, and Ali in command. Lyle's eyes are glasses. He's staggering. This time Lyle is ready to go. Look at that. Muhammad Ali. This is Muhammad Ali. Even at 33. Suddenly, from nowhere, the left got to Lyle. Sent him back against the ropes. Ali in total command. Being separated now. The fight is stopped by referee. And 2 off into the straight left. Down. The eye again now bleeding heavily. This guy's a mad split now. He's fighting on courage and courage alone, Mildenberger is. Now the nose is bleeding. Straight right. Oh. Teddy Walton is stopping this bout. It's a technical knockout.
The boss best. Some say it's not. Sparring may close out. Ellis looks all right. One minute remaining in this fight. Ellis is reeling. He looks defenseless on the ropes. The referee may be deciding whether he's going to stop the fight. He is stopping the fight.
Fight. That left!
Critics say I can't hit, and there you go.
The first knockdown of the fight, he took the mandatory 8, and now Ali!
Solid right hand after this. Boot, there you go, another hook.
Bonavina is running. If he goes down again, it's over! Ali is the knockout winner at 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Ali says, come on, and he caught him. Caught him, 2 lovely ones. Deadly left hands, and Quarry continues to take them. Quarry can't take much more of this. Cheeky, says Ali. Don't you dare. He's punched his heart out there. And he really caught play. Oh, Ali. And he fights back again as Ali now is infuriated. The bell. The smile off Ali's face there. Ali out to finish it. Yes, it was a last stand, I think. It was Quarry's last gallant effort. Referee must stop it. Yes, it's all over.
Very big round for the champion. Very big. Time is on. Wow, on the end of every shot. Beautiful punches by Cassius Clay, the world champion. He's on the receiving end of good punches all the way. What a marksman. A minute to go in number 12. What a marksman Cassius Clay is. I believe they're going to stop it. See how well the challenger rolls back from those punches? And there's Foley down! The champion has plenty himself, there's no question about that. Whoa! That's Foley down from that right hand. I don't know if he's going to make this one.
Clay has landed the harder punches. Clay with the left to nose, the right to the nose. And Clay shakes him up, goes into a shuffle, lifts to the left, throws the left and the right. Williams stands his ground in mid-ring, but his a hard left from the right to the nose. Williams down. Hurt in mid-ring. Clay with a left, a right, a left. Williams with his back to us is getting hit as well. A left, a right. Clay has him going down on his a right, a left by Clay, a left and a right. Williams throwing his back. Clay feels he's got him now. Cuts him on the back of the ear and almost knocked him down. But Williams now stand-up style, backing away. Clay hits him with a left to the face. Williams doesn't quite know what to do. He's been hurt. Badly takes a left and a right in his own corner, right, and the referee stops the fight. It's all over.
Over the left and drops the challenger.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder a moment. This is a combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets up to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped. Here it is. Right. The greatest fight of his life. Watch it now. Watch it closely there.
He'd been taking it easy, and then suddenly the moment came. Watch it. And that was no phantom. That was no phantom punch. And he's down and out.
Definitely was not a phantom.